Hi, my name's Liz and welcome to STEM Person of the Week. In this series, we'll be looking at pioneers from the northeast of England who have links to science, technology, engineering and math.
This week we're focusing on John Snow, a physician and the father of epidemiology. John was considered the founder of epidemiology, the study of diseases. He was curious about their causes and how they spread. His work tracing the source of cholera outbreaks meant he needed to be observant. Snow was logical and was one of the first people to calculate the dose of anaesthetic needed to put someone to sleep during surgery. John was born in York and began his career at age 14 when he started a medical apprenticeship in Newcastle. During his time there, he encountered a cholera epidemic in Killingworth, a local mining village, and he treated lots of patients there. Cholera can be a nasty infection, and at the time, no one really knew much about where diseases came from or how they spread. Lots of people thought that diseases were spread by miasma or bad air. They didn't know much about germs yet. And here you can see it depicted as a big black cloud coming to get people. John worked at the Newcastle Infirmary with a surgeon called Thomas Greenhow, and together they conducted research on cholera. John later moved to London and studied at the university. In the mid-1800s, there were multiple cholera outbreaks. This map was created by John Snow to map out the cholera cases near Broad Street in London in 1854. Each of the black rectangles represents a case. He created it to see if there was a pattern to how the disease spread. At this time, people collected water from shared pumps in the streets. John tried examining the water samples from the one on Broad Street using chemistry and looking at it through a microscope, but he couldn't prove the pump was the cause. However, his studies of the spread of disease convinced the local council to remove the handle of the pump, and this is credited with ending the outbreak. Now, he wasn't the first person to use a map to record the spread of cholera, but he was the first person to link the spread to contaminated water. John later used statistics to show the connection between contaminated water and the cases of cholera disease by comparing homes supplied with clean water and those getting water contaminated with sewage. This is considered to be the foundation of epidemiology, the study of diseases, their spread, and their causes. Nowadays, we know there's lots of different types of disease. Infectious diseases are caused by bacteria. Here you can see what cholera looks like under a microscope. Viruses and other microorganisms. They can be passed on in lots of different ways. Some can be airborne, while others might be passed on through contaminated food or water. And we now know that keeping clean and washing our hands regularly are great ways to help reduce the spread of infections. There's lots of different jobs related to the study of disease. Scientists, researchers, and doctors can specialize in certain diseases, how they spread, and how they can be treated. They can grow microbes in petri dishes, use microscopes to see them up close, and analyze their DNA to find out more about them. Now, at the beginning, we saw a postcard of John Snow. So let's take a closer look at the words highlighted in orange that tell us a bit about what he was like. So the first word is curious. And if you're curious, you want to learn new things. He was also observant. And if you're observant, you're quick to see things. You can spot fine details and you're good at paying attention. And the last word was logical. And logical people can solve problems by thinking them through in a sensible order. They understand how one action can lead to another. So this week, reflect on what you've been doing and see if you've used any of these characteristics, just like John Snow. And thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon to find out about more heritage STEM people.